Friends, every week we put in a lot of effort to create a spine-chilling animated horror story for you. So if you're enjoying the stories on our Mr. Official channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications for our latest videos. Music. Ed and Lorraine Warren are some of the most famous names in the world of paranormal investigation. Together, they have solved countless haunting cases and performed numerous exorcisms. But there was one case in their lives that left even them completely stunned. It was their final case, the Smalls family case. This story begins in 1973 in Pennsylvania, USA. Jack and Jeanette Small moved into an old duplex with their two daughters after their previous home was destroyed in a hurricane. They arrived with new dreams and hopes for a better life. At first, everything seemed fine. Within a few months, Jack got a promotion at work and decided to renovate the house extensively. But as soon as the repairs and renovations began, strange things started happening in the house. Slowly, household items began moving on their own. Tools and equipment used for repairs would disappear, only to reappear in the exact same spot later. One room had weird black marks on the walls. Jack painted over them 3 or 4 times, but the marks always returned within days. Sometimes, even after he personally painted the walls, the black marks reappeared. Meanwhile, the lights in the house started flickering on their own. One evening, while Jack was watching TV, the television suddenly caught fire, as if someone had thrown a bomb on it. Jack called multiple electricians to check the wiring, but they could never find any problem. Late one night, the radio in the house suddenly started blasting at full volume. Annoyed, Jack got up, thinking his daughters were playing pranks, but when he went to the living room, the radio was playing on its own, and it wasn't even plugged in. This strange phenomenon happened repeatedly. TVs and radios turned on full volume by themselves while unplugged. Drawers and cabinets opened on their own. The house's temperature would drop dramatically, and even during the hottest months, it would feel freezing indoors. When Jack and Jeanette renovated their bathroom, something extremely strange happened. The day after the renovation, Jeanette found scratch marks all over the bathroom, as if some animal had been trapped there overnight. After this incident, the family began feeling uneasy in their own home. Once, Jeanette was in her room when she heard what sounded like her mother-in-law calling her from the next room. When she went in, her mother-in-law said she hadn't called her. From that moment, the family often felt like someone was calling them, but they never saw anyone. One night, Jack and Jeanette heard strange screaming from their daughter's room. They rushed in to find their daughter drenched in sweat, terrified, pointing at a corner of the room. She kept saying there was something horrifying floating in the air, but Jack and Jeanette couldn't see anything. When they turned on the lights, the girl calmed down, but the next evening, while Jeanette was in the kitchen, she felt a cold breeze. It was February, so she assumed a window was open, but the window was already shut. When she turned back, her hair stood on end. In the corner of the kitchen, a black shadow floated in the air. A faceless shadow that seemed to be staring right at her. Jeanette's hands and legs shook from fear. The shadow slowly came close to her, then passed right through her and disappeared into the wall. That same day, Jeanette's mother-in-law also saw the black shadow. Gradually, the entire family started seeing it frequently. Jack and Jeanette's suspicion now became certainty. They realized a spirit was present in their home. Since it wasn't harming anyone, they decided to coexist with it for a while. Sometime later, the couple had twin daughters, and everything changed. One day, while Jack was sitting in the living room with his daughters, a strange noise came from the ceiling, as if something was being ripped off. Jeanette looked up and froze in fear. She quickly pulled her youngest daughter close, and just then, a large chandelier fell from the ceiling. If anyone had been underneath, surviving would have been nearly impossible. After this incident, Jack went to church and shared everything with a priest. The priest came and performed a blessing ritual, somewhat like a puja. For a short time, the activity stopped, but after a while, it resumed, this time with even more intensity. Kitchen appliances would catch fire on their own, and light bulbs would explode. Family members often got hurt by flying objects. Things escalated when, just after the priest performed a blessing ritual, the Smalls dog started thrashing strangely, barking loudly, and then literally flew through the air, crashing into a wall. The dog was badly injured. What happened that day shook the entire Smalls family to the core. Jack and Jeanette now knew for sure, the spirit in the house was targeting their family. Many priests performed blessings, but nothing worked. Jack asked for an exorcism, but he had no proof of paranormal activity, so the church refused permission. They had already spent a fortune on the house, and no one was willing to buy it. Jack and Jeanette couldn't leave, no matter how badly they wanted to. Years passed, but their problems had no solution. Then someone told them about Ed and Lorraine Warren. Will Ed and Lorraine Warren be able to save the Smalls family, or will something even more terrifying happen? Find out in the second part of the Smalls family case next week on the Mr. Official YouTube channel. So don't forget to